want to go home.
So do I. I want us both to go home, but they took it from us. So tell me, sweet sister, how do we go home?
I don't know.
We go home with an army.
It's an incredibly human story. Game of Thrones is about family, it's about loyalty.
It's about the ways that that love for your family can translate into really difficult and really complicated moral choices. There are 7 regions in Westeros, 7 kingdoms.
The 7 kingdoms is a single realm made up of 7 realms that once were independent. So every house in Westeros has its heraldry, and Targaryens, of course, it's a 3-headed dragon. The 2 Targaryen siblings are the last of their house. They are the children of the last Targaryen king.
Daenerys Targaryen, sometimes known as Daenerys Stormborn, is the youngest daughter of Aerys Targaryen, also known as the Mad King. She and her older brother, Viserys, were spirited away after Robert's Rebellion about 17 years earlier.
He really is the true king of Westeros, and he's been in exile his whole life, and he's trying to get back to where he feels he belongs.
The people drink secret toasts to your health. They cry out for their true king.
We'll do pretty much whatever that takes, and he's very bitter and resentful of the people who took it from him.
I waited 17 years to get my throne back.
The love of Robert's life was killed by Targaryens. So the Targaryens are Robert's kind of sworn enemies, and he's vowed to kill any Targaryens he can lay his hands on.
I want him dead. Is that plain enough for you?
They are the blood of the dragon, and they conquered Westeros with dragons, which they could ride and command.
Dragon's eggs, Daenerys. The ages have turned them to stone, but they will always be beautiful.
They don't really think themselves quite equal to normal humans. They think themselves godlike, and gods don't interbreed with humans, so they marry brother to sister. But of course, all this inbreeding has produced the troubles that inbreeding usually does.
At a very young age, his dad, his mom, his brother, his sister-in-law, his nephew, his niece were all killed, and he was sent away, and he's lived his whole life on his own. And he knows that somehow he has to get back and restart the dynasty that his family has ruled for 500 years.
If it weren't for Viserys, then I would not know anything about my heritage. I wouldn't know about what I was the rightful heir to, basically.
She has been on the run since she was a baby.
She's been living in exile her entire life. She's never known her homeland. All she really knows about it is from the stories her brother told her. And Viserys Targaryen is not a reliable narrator.
He is such a frustrated, repressed individual, and that he has these great feelings of sometimes, worthlessness, and he feels so small, and the task ahead of him is so big, and that when he can't take it, something just snaps within him.
I am your king!
The 2 of them are living with a rich merchant prince of the free city of Pentos.
Isn't he a gracious host?
We've been his guests for over a year, and he's never asked us for anything.
Well, Illyrio's no fool. He knows I won't forget my friends when I come into my throne. There's a Pentoshi magister called Illyrio. He has trading relationships with different peoples in Essos, including Khal Drogo's Khalasar, and he's the matchmaker.
Where's he going?
The ceremony is over.
But he didn't say anything. Did he like her?
Trust me, Your Grace. If he didn't like her, we'd know.
She's being traded to the Dothraki by her brother Viserys in exchange for the Dothraki's military services and capturing back the Iron Throne.
There are horse people. They live in these great, vast grass plains, the Dothraki Sea and environs, and they make a living by conquering other people. For them, warfare is everything. So they essentially go from one side of the continent to the other, and those who do not pay homage to them are wiped out.
She's completely and utterly petrified of him and scared, and she doesn't know if she can deal with the situation, but she knows that's where the strength comes in. She gets put up with a lot of obstacles coming her way, and every time she overcomes them, she succeeds, and she kind of just gets stronger and stronger as she goes on.
She's very much a frightened, abused child. She's never had a true home. She's always been living on the sufferance of other people.
And he has been vicious to his sister.
You do not command, dragon. I am lord of the 7 kingdoms.
I don't take orders from savages or their sluts. The only reason she has anything, the only reason she's actually alive is because of him. I brought her up in exile on my own her whole life. I've been with her every day of her life.
I think that's like the biggest thing with Dany, is that she goes through her life doing what other people tell her to do, or what's expected of her.
She's got an abusive brother here who in one part is trying to use her to win his throne back, and on the other sense has this feeling that she's his property, she's his sister, he really should be marrying her, you know, because that's what the Targaryens do.
Daenerys starts off quite meek and fearful of her brother and begins to develop her own personality and her own thoughts as the season progresses.
Tell them to stop.
You want the entire horde to stop? For how long?
Until I command them otherwise.
She's initially quite terrified of being inducted into a tribe of people that her brother considers savages. She really falls in love with the Dothraki people. She starts to learn their language. She starts to dress the way they do.
How many times do I have to tell you? You do not command me.
I wasn't commanding you.
He misses his sister because she used to be all his, and even though he treated her very badly, she looked up to him, and he was everything to her. You still slouch. He's her mother and father and brother all in one, and they would have been married in the original Targaryen history. Make him happy. So to see her have a life of her own, and to see her lead other people, to see her speak a language that he didn't teach her, I think it's hard for him.